Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you Game 1 in a series between Th000 and Yumiko. Game 1 taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Let's go ahead and break things down. As we see, I believe Th000 has spawned as the purple human player here at what I will call the 5 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Yumiko has spawned as the blue human. Now, in a matchup like this, where it is human versus human on Twisted Meadows, I'm not really quite sure if you need to speed build this Altar of Kings. You do end up taking a little bit of an economic hit, but it then does translate to a much faster hero and therefore much faster creeping experience. We'll see if it makes that much of a difference as things are now unraveling. We are going to be training up an Archmage versus an Archmage. No big surprise there, as the Archmage is the go-to hero in a human versus human matchup. Now, it wouldn't be surprising to see Mountain King either, but you do really limit the number of styles of play that you can go, and your opponent then knows he can easily get casters on you, and in a caster versus caster fight, whoever has an Archmage will end up being the winner. Now, Twisted Meadows, a map that we are all very, very familiar with. Pretty much easy to spawn, easy to find your opponent, and pretty fast to scout out. Now, one of the differences between, I'll say, StarCraft 2 and WarCraft 3 is that WarCraft 3 has a lot of just straight shots. The game seems much more open, and the units don't nearly run as fast. Things don't happen nearly as fast as units don't really start falling apart. Let's go ahead and take a look as the Archmage is actually going to start militia creeping out the mercenary camp. This is a bit of an adventurous gameplay style. As you can see, the militia are just now going to be making their way in. Alright, Water Elemental is in position. The Water Elemental has to be careful not to take too much damage, as it is still a very good source of damage itself. We do see a Scroll of the Beast now picked up, and that's perhaps one of the least useful items, as you are now looking at Th000 creeping out this creep camp in a pretty impressive fashion. Meanwhile, down over here, True Shot Aura being given to Yumiko, and I guess the item on Yumiko is just not as useful, but then again, it is alright. The peasants are going to end up finishing off this Troll Priest there. The peasant down over here was fortunate enough to not fall, as the Archmage has a Scroll of the Beast and Gauntlets of Ogre Strength. More importantly though, he does have a farm at this mercenary camp, as I believe we are building up a scout tower now back at home. Archmage has that True Shot Aura and now going to be going after this Null Overseer. Null Overseer may be trying to... Null Overseer going to be taking a lot of damage from these footmen and these militia, as Yumiko going to clear this out. The Null Overseer is focusing on that Water Elemental there, so really nothing big there at all, as the Archmage picks up another Troll Shadow Priest. So there is double Troll Shadow Priest, and what that means is that it's going to be very easy to recover some of that damage early. The Archmage is really hoping to just take down that, Potion of Greater Healing and Mantle of Intelligence. Some big items there, as the units are now on the run. Both sides having 2 footmen, but you can see those Troll Shadow Priests will make a very big difference, as the Abolish Magic game could be coming into play. Alright, that Water Elemental down to 7 hit points gets taken out, and the Archmage now very close to level 3. Alright, Yumiko picks up a Troll Berserker from the far side and is now using a footman to try and slowly take down that forward farm, that mercenary farm. Ogre Warrior now gonna fall here, as the Archmage trying to steal a bit of experience. Is it gonna work out? You can take a look. Both heroes have relatively little to get to level 3, or just very close to level 3 there. But it looks like Th000 is really fighting amidst or like amongst a lot of other units. Let me slow down a bit. Among a lot of other units, and he's taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Yumiko may end up coming out ahead, and I'm really surprised that the Troll Shadow Priests here and here did not use Abolish Magic to really stop on all of those Water Elementals. That's really what they're used for in a matchup just like this, as the Archmage going to easily run up, catch, take down the footman, and now get to level 3. Boots of Speed, definitely helpful there, as the Troll Shadow Priest, there's that double Abolish Magic, as I mentioned earlier. This one poor guy now trying to run away. What's going to be happening next? This Troll Shadow Priest in a little bit of a danger... Wait, nope. Yes, that Troll Shadow Priest is in a little bit of a dangerous spot. Has to be extremely careful as Yumiko now comes over and comes in. There's one Abolish Magic. Are we going to see a second one? Yes, we do. And there it goes down. A level 3... or excuse me, a level 2 water elemental getting taken out very, very quickly with the help of a Troll Shadow Priest, just finishing things up rather quickly. Now, Th000 is coming over to try and take down this Troll Berserker. The Troll Berserker looks like it will get taken down pretty easily, as the Archmage does have the range and the damage and the speed to catch up, as we're looking at both sides really not fighting in terms of front lines as you would normally expect. Usually in a fight, in fights like this, you expect a lot of just units fighting each other in a single file line, and then a lot of micro battles. This is not what we're seeing here. We're seeing a lot more open space. We're seeing a lot more just action going across, and it's a lot difficult to figure out what's happening and where everything is going down. Archmage now coming back up and will be trying to push or at least defend his base here. You can see a Goblin Shredder was brought over, as the Archmage now taking a lot more damage than he would like. Let's take a look at this battle here. Archmage down to, wow, perfectly drops the Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, uses the Potion of Healing, and then picks it back up once more to pretty much get back up to full hit points, as the Goblin Shredder looks like it is going to get surrounded. All right, a surrounded Goblin Shredder here, and you can take a look. The Scroll of Roar being used to take down multiple footmen. Okay, are we going to see multiple footmen getting taken down there? Oh, another footman, another peasant. That low hit point peasant will survive, as this footman runs past a whole bunch of units in an attempt to find this Archmage. Back over here, footman finally taking down this scout farm, going to be making its way back up, as you can see the footmen are just trying to run inside here to take down some of these lower hit point peasants. There goes one. Another peasant could get taken out, but oh yes, he does get taken out now, as the water elementals are pressing inside the arcane tower. Arcane tower number 1 has fallen. It looks like the arcane tower now focusing onto the water elementals. No big problem here. Meanwhile, the Archmage of Th000 sitting at level 4, Yumiko sitting at level 3, trying to run back, as we now have another call to arms. Call to arms. All those militia are fighting back pretty easily to take down the rest of the remaining units, but Yumiko is losing a lot of footmen and a lot of militia in this engagement. He will be forced to retrain up a lot of peasants, and that does mean that he will most likely be sitting at tier 2 for at least a little while longer. Both sides using Scroll of Town Portal. Where's this Mountain King now comes in, and wow, the Archmage does end up surviving at 13 hit points. A little bit of a desperation Scroll of Town Portal there, as the Mountain King does come out. Archmage is sitting at level 4. Gonna go ahead and try to get that Mountain King to level 2 and level 3 as quickly as possible, as we're now building dual Arcane Sanctums for Sorceress and Priest. Arcane Vault, yet still nowhere to be found. And this is a bit interesting. Both of these sides have not built an Arcane Vault yet. Arcane Vault would have been one of the major buildings, I would have thought. As you see, there have been a lot more footman deaths than normal. Back down over here, a little bit more creepy now coming into play. Wow, low hit point footmen across the board. A Scroll of Regeneration would do wonders, and I wonder why that is not happening. All right, Water Elemental going after this level 3, level 1 creep camp. That will fall pretty easily, as we're now setting up dual towers here for an expansion. Back here, priests are now being added. Arcane Vault still nowhere to be found. Arcane Tower being constructed. More priests need to be added. More farms need to be built, as Th000 did lose that earlier scout farm that was sitting at this mercenary camp. Without a lot of healers, I cannot imagine Th000 really winning this next fight. His army is really low on hit points, and if he is trying to be the aggressor, he's gonna have to deal with towers and militia. You can see the Arcane Vault is already up for Yumiko, and he is not currently supply blocked. We're still supply blocked by Th000, and it doesn't seem like he really cares. He's just gonna try and put pressure once more, and here you go, the Water Elemental taking a lot of damage here. And now what is going to be happening? Sorceress is in here as well. Low hit point footmen need to get away. what is happening. As you can see, that footman would just fall pretty much instantaneously if he took any sort of serious damage. This footman needs to get back. No, he wants extra little bit of damage onto this Altar of Kings. Altar of Kings taking a bit of damage here. Mountain King Stormbolt across the board. There goes a lower hit point footman that was just asking to get killed for so long. And Th000 really just gave a little bit of free experience there. Goblin Zeppelin now retreating all the way back. Arcane Vaults. Unless I'm watching a Reign of Chaos game. No, there is a tavern in the center, so this is not a Reign of Chaos game. I don't understand why these players have not built the customary Arcane Vault, at least not from Th000. Th000 has perhaps lost a little bit more than he would have liked, and now the Goblin Zeppelin is just going to hang out over here, buying time for his expansion. Back home, you can see 35 over 48 supply. There finally is an Arcane Vault being built, but even then, there is not going to be any shopping at this Arcane Vault because of the location. Down over here, the expansion is up and running, and the guard towers are in position to try and act as a little bit of a deterrent. Meanwhile, you see the Goblin Zeppelin still flying overhead, trying to keep track of everything, as we have the level 4 Archmage running down over here. There's the guard towers. There is one priest sitting in position here, ready to go. And here we are. There we go. Footmen taking a bit of damage. Are they going to throw up defend? That is the big question, as the Mountain King does quickly show up. Rest of the army now lands, but they are taking their sweet, sweet time getting there, as we do see Abolish Magic quickly onto one of those water elementals. Th000's Mountain King quickly hits level 2, but he needs to get picked up here. There is a Thunderclap getting picked up and now perhaps getting dropped back down at any moment. Mountain King could get a Stormbolt off, but beautifully deflected by the Potion of Invulnerability. Archmage now surrounded, and Th000 is going to be in trouble. Th000 does not seem like he's playing at the top of his game right now, and he is now Squirrel Town Portaling behind his expansion. He does not want to lose this expansion at all, but at the same time, the guard towers now under pressure by the footmen. All right, peasants trying to repair the guard tower, not going to work at all, as only one peasant was on active duty. Meanwhile, the Mountain King now arriving back up. Mountain King of Yumiko sitting at level 3. Level 2 Stormbolt is underway, and it looks like Th000 is going to end up losing this base and possibly the game if he is not careful. Mountain King continuing this race here. There's a Stormbolt onto a Troll Shadow Priest. There it goes down as well, and that Mountain King with level 2 Stormbolt dealing so much damage, and we now see the slow onto the Mountain King. Mountain King, very, very important to slow down, as that Mountain King, oh, Stormbolt gets onto the Archmage. Yumiko has to be very careful. He cannot let that guy go down. Mountain King gets Stormbolted instead, and you see a little bit of a battle between the Mountain Kings here as the Spellbreakers are getting in more damage. However, that slow has been sitting on Yumiko, and I think Yumiko, as strange as this sound, was a little bit late to the Spellbreaker battle. The Spellbreakers of Th000 seem to be able to play a little bit more of a role, and now we see the militia coming in from Th000. This is a little bit of a dangerous spot now for Yumiko, as Yumiko now being forced to retreat. Down over here, the footmen and Water Elemental are clearing out some of those peasants, but they are not really actively engaged in the fight. And the expansion is still up here, as we see Spellbreaker after, priest after priest go after Spellbreaker here, and we are still running into a big fight here. His peasant now getting taken down, as we see I don't know what that Yumiko's peasant is doing here at all. So far, you can see Th000 continuing this push here. Archmage sitting at level 5 against a level 5 Archmage, both of them with level 3 Water Elementals pushing rather strongly, as the level 2 Mountain King needs to get to level 3 in order to really even things a bit up. Mountain King taking a bit more damage. There is a Stormbolt, but it just superficial damage there, easily healed up by those priests, as we now see a little bit of a retreat. All right, peasants still once more going after and getting some additional gold. The Spellbreakers going after the Spellbreakers and the Water Elementals going after the units here. They should really be going after the priests, as the priests are just much easier targets. Back off over here. It looks like a Spellbreaker will get taken down, and Yumiko is starting to just cave under the pressure. Mountain King still sitting at level 2 here, gonna lose a little bit more mana, down to 75 mana pretty much, but he is getting closer and closer to level 3. If we just see a little bit of a turnaround here, Mountain King now finally at 3. There's a Stormbolt onto a priest. That one priest goes down, a second priest goes down, and now Yumiko calls GG. Yumiko just caved under the pressure there. That's all I can really say. That game was so incredibly close, and he caved. Yumiko had the game in his hands. He had the upper hand, and it just all of a sudden started to fall apart. He was a bit out of position, and I think that's all you can really say of anything. He left footmen and a water elemental back to take out the peasants when that wasn't really what was doing damage. Yes, the expansion was hurting him, but he could not afford to have units not engaged in the battle, thereby giving more damage on his own units since he was not able to kill his opponent's units fast enough, thereby giving level 3 to the Mountain King. And then once you got to level 3 on the Mountain King, everything else was over. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.